Welcome, my gentlemen, my madams, and whoever else is watching these videos. Today it's going to be the last video on the different barriers to have pets. Any pet, be it dog, cat, bird, amphibian, reptile, you name it. And this last barrier is probably one of the most important barriers. Environmental barrier that I went over first, and the spatial barrier that I went over second, really are small and dwarfed compared to this last barrier. If you're able to get past through this last barrier easily, then the first and second barrier probably won't be an issue to you. And this last barrier is financial. The financial barrier, right? You need to have money. Pets need food, pets need shelter, pets need water, pets need toys, pets need enclosures, pets need incubators for their eggs, or maybe you don't need an incubator. Pets need, and because they need, you need to provide. And to provide, that mostly means you're going to have to fork over some money to either the pet store for feeders or to Joe Blow's to build an enclosure. You're going to have to provide. Of course, like I said, if you have enough money, environmental impacts, your local climate really won't matter. You'll be able to air condition your room, you're able to heat the room, and you're able to provide misting systems to keep maybe a tropical species, maybe like dart frogs, from drying out. You're able to afford RO water systems to make sure that you always have reverse osmosis water, pure water. And if you have enough money, you'll be able to afford a larger space, maybe a larger house, larger apartment, a place with a bigger backyard. You'll be able to afford more space, and maybe that'll give you the opportunity to own larger animals like blackthroat monitors and house them responsibly in large enough enclosures, right? If you have enough money to offer a blackthroat monitor a whole room in your house, perfect. A lot of people can't do that. And as long as you have the funds to allow you to, all the more power to you, right? So, in my case, I can't afford that shit, right? I'm not going to afford a blackthroat monitor. I'm not going to afford a reticulated python. I don't have the space. And nor do I want to buy another freezer to keep rabbits and stuff. Right. So everybody's case is different. Everybody's funds is different. People allocate their budgets differently. Maybe you're well off. However, reptiles really aren't really your thing. However, you have some reptiles here and there and you allocate your money elsewhere. Maybe you don't have that much money, but reptiles are a huge part of your life. So you dedicate most of your budget to your reptiles. And so you're able to afford a little more. Everyone's a little different. However, because everyone's a little different, we kind of need to understand that different animals demand different amount of funds. Leopard geckos and a lot of geckos, they just need insects. Crickets, mealworms, superworms, they're fairly inexpensive. Lizards like caiman lizards and some of the more exotic snakes demand more exotic feeders like anoles, snails, frogs, stuff like that. And those type of feeders usually run you a premium. So if you do want to get, let's say, a dragon snake, one of my most favorite snakes on the planet, understand that you're going to have to dedicate a certain amount of funds to make sure that this enclosure stays nice and cool, it stays nice and humid, and you were able to afford the frogs, the nice, clean, parasite-free, not wild-caught frogs that this snake needs, right? So funds for everyone's money for everyone is a little different. Money makes the world go around. Without money, the reptile community probably wouldn't be as big as it is, right? I have ball python morphs to my back. I love ball python morphs. They're pretty expensive. However, so what, right? At a certain point, I was able to afford some of these guys in the back. And hopefully I'm able to get a return on investment or get some money. And then I'll be able to get that money and give it right back. Get them maybe a larger rack. Maybe, and provide them feeders. So money makes the world go around. Makes the reptile community stay alive. Because if you're not able to sell your animals, if you're not able to, produce some money, maybe you breed animals, it's hard to keep things going. Not everyone is well funded, and not everyone wants to get, a whole collection of trophy animals with no intention to breed, right? Most people that get those rare animals, it's part of the challenge, part of the allure to try to breed them, to try to supply them to the greater community, to the reptile community, simply because they're able to. And maybe they'll get their money back, maybe they won't. However, it's how it is. So this third barrier, the financial or the money aspect that you need to have, is important. With ball pythons, they demand a certain amount of money every year to keep them fed. So does a leopard gecko, so does a caiman lizard, so does a blackthroat monitor. If their living costs are too high for you, like I know monitor lizards will eat you out of your house. Right? Instead of paying rent, you're going to have to be paying a couple $100s a month to your monitor lizard so they can eat well and it can grow and stay healthy. So it is important to understand that money is important here. You need to have enough funds. Let's all be adults here for a second and understand that even though your heart can be made of gold, maybe you can provide all the parameters. However, you need money to provide feeders, to provide air conditioning, to provide heating, to buy new bulbs, to buy feeders, calcium, vitamins, substrate, enrichment, logs, hides, you name it. You need money for it. And let's all responsibly get animals that we are able to afford. Let's not overstretch ourselves and buy an animal simply because we want it. You need to be able to ensure that you're able to provide that animal with everything it needs besides its basic parameters, right? Let's give that Asian water monitor, let's give it its water feature it needs, right? Let's just not keep it inside of a small enclosure and it be bone dry in there, right? Let's give these animals what they need. And in order to give them what they need, we need to have a certain amount of budget allocated to them. Alright, so this has been the third barrier, probably the most straightforward. If you can't feed them, don't keep them, don't buy them, right? Alright, so this has been the last of the barriers. I'm going to be using these 3 barriers for my bird's eye view, because it's important for us to know what type of things we need to, what type of hoops we got to jump through to get these animals and provide a good stable environment for them. So yeah, this has been the last barrier, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Please like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next video. As always, thanks for coming by and hearing me out. See you guys.